According to Psalm 75, from verse 5 to 7, Psalm 75, 5 to 7, it is God who promotes. Because when I say you are leaving the valley today, some of you might be wondering, how is that going to happen? Well, if you read 1 Samuel chapter 2, and you read it from verse 7 to 9, 1 Samuel 2, 7 to 9, Bible tells you God is able to pick up a beggar from the dunghill and lift him up until he's now residing with kings. There are certain things that are not possible for man, but they are easy with God. And my God will promote you today. Now, getting to the top depends seriously on the mercy of God. Because according to Romans chapter 9, from verse 15 to 16, Romans 9, 15 to 16, the Bible tells us it's not really of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of God who shows mercy. So I'm praying for you today, you will obtain mercy from God. The important point actually in our topic of today is the word only. Above only. You already have an idea of what it is to be above. But what do we mean by being above only? Do you know it is better to remain in the valley and never go to the mountaintop than once upon a time to be above and return back to the valley? There's nothing as terrible as being an ex-champion. There's nothing as painful as having been to the top and now to end in the valley. There's nothing, you can imagine it. We're being very practical about it now. You can imagine somebody who once upon a time, like everybody else, was catching a bus to go to work. Anytime the bus comes, because it's been waiting, if you are living in Mushin and you are working in VI, and you don't want to lose your job, you have to wake up very early to go and line up at the bus stop so you can make it to work. And then all of a sudden, you got promoted, and now you have your own car. You don't have to wake up exactly at the same time as a fellow who has to catch a bus. And if you used to have a car and things happened, God forbid, and now you have to catch a bus again, and while you are struggling to go into the bus, somebody tramples on your leg, and you look at the fellow and you say, can't you see my leg? The fellow will look at you and say, what are you talking about? You are in the bus stop. You don't, what are you doing here? If you don't want to be trampled upon. When you enter the bus that day, you are going to say, it's not your fault. Nobody tramples on my leg when I had my own car. I pray for you. In the name that's above every other name, you will be above only. The sorrows of an ex-champion is multiple. You know, I used to be interested in boxing. When you are world champion, you're a champion in boxing, whenever you are going in the streets, everybody will be greeting you, champ, champ, champ. The day you become an ex-champion, the pain is not just the bruises on your face, it's that those who used to cheer you, champ, champ, when they see you coming, they turn their faces. The shame of an ex-champion. Oh, you want to ask for an example? Why don't you ask Samson? When as a champion, universal champion, when they saw him coming, I mean, here comes our hero. Then you read what happened in Judges chapter 16, from verse 18 to the end. Judges 16, 18 to the end. And the champion became a slave of the people who used to see him and run. You remember him? You remember the time he was in a harlot's house, and the people learned, the soldiers learned that he was in town. And they said, you know what, let's surround the house. Let's wait till he wakes up. Why do you think they did that? Because they were sure if this man should get up now and we begin to fight, if we don't run, we're the one who will die. But after he became an ex-champion, after they plucked out his eyes, after they bound him, after they caused him to be dancing to the idol, the story was different. Many of us have always wondered, in his last prayer, when he asked God to strengthen him one more time, he asked that he should die. Simple. He didn't want to become an ex-champion ever again. Just let me be able to regain my crown just one more time. You've seen a lot of, I mean, if you are as interested in boxing as I am, you see people who have retired gloriously. And then after 2-3 years, they say they want to stage a comeback. They are older. They know that the fellow they want to fight is younger and maybe stronger and is more likely to win. Many of them go for comeback because they are saying, if that fellow is going to kill me, it's better to die than to be an ex-champion. I pray for you, in the name that's above every other name, you will be above only. You'll be a champion permanently. So, I just want to share with you for another five minutes or so. How do I become above only and never beneath? How do I reach the top and stay there? Number one, you must keep climbing. It doesn't matter how high you are now, you must keep climbing. That's saying to my beloved children, those of you in school, you must keep on studying. Every year you must keep on studying. The day you graduate in the primary school, your parents come to rejoice the little graduate. That's what they call you now, even when you are graduating in primary school. But you better keep going, because if you stop at primary school, you won't be a champion next year. That's why we go from primary, year by year. They test us at the end of the year to see if we can be promoted, or if we haven't learned anything. You finish secondary school, you move on. You go to the university, you get your first degree, you move on. Second degree, you move on. You get PhD, you move on. I think I've shared with you before. I remember very well. I must get PhD. So I got PhD, and I was glad. Now I am doctor. Because when you get MSc, there's no much difference between you and BSc. They see address you, Mr. So now I've got my PhD. Now they can call me doctor. Until I was driving along and I saw a signboard beside a shoemaker, doctor of shoes. And suddenly I discovered doctor is different from doctor. I remember my professor, Professor Chikeobi of blessed memory. He was a doctor of mathematics, one of the best we ever had. And he would be talking and he would look at doctor of mercy and say, doctor of wounds. They call themselves doctor. They are doctor of wounds. I'm a doctor of mathematics. Then you become a professor, because then now people will know you are different. And suddenly it will become clear to you. Professor only has meaning in the university campus. Maybe you have noticed, or maybe if they ever raise funds in your local village and so on. Have you ever seen a professor invited to a fundraising? You must keep on climbing. Go to the academic community. You'll discover, even after you become a professor, you must keep on publishing papers. You must keep on learning. You must keep on pressing forward. So those of you who are students, remember that there is never an end to learning. Never. You must keep on climbing. Hear what Paul said in Philippians chapter 3. From verse 13 to 15, Philippians 3, 13 to 15. He said, I do one thing I do. I forget what is in the past. I keep pressing forward, pressing forward, pressing forward. May I tell you, if you are where you were last year, this year, you're a backslider. Because if last year you were in Form 3, around, you do shadow boxing, you do every manner of things secretly because you are planning for the day you will meet the champion. The champion hasn't got too many friends. Everybody wants to take his crown. And then one day you become the champion. And every boxer in the line will be waiting for the day they will come and knock off your head and take your crown. So to keep being above only, you must be diligent. You must keep on pressing on. And then, because God is the promoter, and he says in his word that it's not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth. To 23, Jude 1, 20 to 23. The Bible, in the book of Jude, tells you, don't say, I'm already saved, I am on my way to heaven. It doesn't matter if the others can go to hell. And out of mercy, have mercy on them. If you want to retain your position, Jesus